Hi and welcome back to another video. What we're going to take a look at is an Atari ST that I found in my cupboard. Well, I never found it, I knew it was there but I hadn't really used it. It's been there for some while now. I bought it off eBay a good few years back and I put it aside and just never went back to it. Unfortunately I took it out of the cupboard and I noticed there was some damage to it. As you can see here, part of the case is just crumbled in itself and there's a big crack on the side of it. And there's some bits moving around inside it. Also went to power it up and it wasn't powering on, which is quite worrying. Since I bought it I haven't actually tried it, so I don't know if it was like that in the first place or not. So what we're going to do is take a look inside it, see if there's any obvious things wrong with it, and also clean out the debris from the broken plastic. Apart from the broken plastic at the back, it's in decent condition. That's just a shame that happens. I think over time the plastic in these gets very brittle and it doesn't take much to break them, so if it's on a desk and sitting like that you're never going to see the back of it anyway, so it's not really a major issue. Also came with a GoTech on it as well, which is handy, so we can just play the stuff straight off the USB on it. That's if we can get it to work. So what we'll do now is we'll start to take it apart. It looks pretty straightforward to take apart, just screws underneath of it, so we'll remove them and then take a look inside it. Never actually worked on one of these before. This is the first time I've ever opened one, so it's something new for me as well. There we are. As we can see, the GoTech's installed. There's actually a custom 3D bracket that's been put on it, which is nice as well. Before we go any further with it, I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsors, PCBWay. So let's head over and check them out. Thanks to our friends at PCBWay for sponsoring this video. PCBWay is the go-to for all your electronics and manufacturing needs. They do everything from PCB assembly, 3D printing and CNC machining. They currently have up to 60% off flexible PCBs, so head over and check out the deal they've got going at the moment. With a super fast turnaround and amazing customer support, they are hard to beat. If you're new to PCBWay, you also get $5 off your first order, so please head over and check them out today. Okay, now we're back. I've opened many Amiga and things like that in the past. This is very different the way it's set out. We've got the power supply in the unit rather than externally, and the joystick ports there underneath the keyboard, which is quite weird. The joystick ports there are accessible underneath the machine, which is again still quite strange design, but this will be in the power supply here. These have these little twisty tab things on them, which actually I don't really like. They're quite annoying. The Amiga's got them as well. And it also looks like this has been opened in the past, because they have been moved before. always need to be careful around that. Again, there's little shrapnel of plastic all the way around this. It's broken up and just got inside the stuff. We'll just remove this as well. Unplug the keyboard. Just need to remove the Gotek to take the shielding off it as well. I'm really not a fan of that metal shielding at all. When I've been working on Amigas in the past, I've always ended up cutting my finger on it. It really is razor sharp. Horrible stuff to work on it with. So what I'm going to do is just use the pliers to lift it up. What I'll do is I'll just bend that back actually. Well, I don't want to bend it too much. Otherwise we're gonna... I think we'll have to take the power supply out the looks of it. But I'll just bend this back a little bit to see underneath. It's actually very similar to the Amiga underneath. Just got a main board, obviously without the power supply, and then you've got the floppy cable. So I went to get my multimeter there just to check a couple of things on the power board and that, just to see what's at fault. I thought before I do that I'll check the power cable for it just to make sure everything's okay there. And I've came across this very strange thing I've never seen before. I'll show you it now. So this is not plugged in just now. I'm just going to plug the points for the multimeter in before I plug it in. And that's set to voltage. This will give us a voltage reading from this cable. So that's something I've never seen before, is a reading of 65 volts from a 240 volt main cable. Tested loads of things, but in the past never ever came across this problem. Usually these cables either they're dead or they're 240 volts. I've never really seen anything like that before. If any of you guys have ever came across this before, please let me know in the comments, and I'd love to know what's actually causing this. I've got another cable here I'll show you as well. Unplug it. This is a faulty cable, and this is another cable I had lying about. So there we go, as you can see that's just slightly over 240 volts, which is normal. That's what the other one should be, but instead it's showing 60 odd volts, which is never ever seen that problem before. So now I'm quite confident there's actually nothing wrong with the system itself. I think it's down to this power cable. What I'm going to do is I'll not screw everything back together. I'll place everything, I'll fit it all back together, and then I'll test it, see if it powers up, and if it does then I can screw the case back together. What I'm going to do first of all, there's a little glass fuse inside here. I'm going to set it to continuity and we'll try that just to make sure that's okay. So there's a glass fuse here. And that's okay. So I'm actually quite convinced there's a problem with the power cable. I'm just going to put this back loosely at the moment. I'm not going to clip all the wee clips in that into place. Really mostly the keyboard I want in at the moment, just to see if it powers on. So when there's a bare power supply like that, I always put the case back on. I never take a chance with that. Hopefully this will work. Wow, there we go, it's pulling up. You can see the little power light down here. Do you believe that? It's been the cable all along. A 64 volt cable plugged into a mains, I've just never seen that. It's crazy. No idea what would cause it. But I'm not that bothered about having to take it all apart, because I had to do that anyway to get rid of the little bits of plastic shrapnel out of it, so it's not a wasted job by any means. But I'm just glad, I mean that's working now, which is brilliant, so I'm actually really happy with that. I don't need to dive deeper into it, so that's good. I'll turn that off. So now we can put everything back together. What I'll do is make sure there's no other bits of plastic floating around in this. And then we'll put the shielding back in place. One little slip up with that and you've got a really nasty cut finger. Just need to twist the tabs back in place. Horrible invention. I suppose they never really thought of us opening these up 40 years later and tinkering with them, so They probably thought people would just use them and that'd be the end of it. That's that back in place. Now I'll put the Gotek back in. So that's everything back in place as always. Before I screw the case together, I'm just going to double check it powers up. I don't want to put it all back then I need to open it again. Yeah, perfect. There we are. So just plugged it all in and booted it up there. Got a picture on the screen, got a nice display, and it's obviously powering up. I just noticed one thing there when I was plugged it in. I'd forgot to put this back on, the shield for the power supply. But what I'll do is I'll finish this video up and I'll do that off camera. I'll not subject you guys to that. It's just typical that I put something back together and then I found a part that should be on it. But there we are, working Atari ST. Not what I thought it was going to be, certainly not what I thought it was going to be, but I'm just glad it's working. And thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you soon for another one. Cheers, bye bye.